Welcome back. Today's lesson is on adding whole numbers, lesson 1.2. This is a part of series recorded for Math 020 course taught at St. Louis Community College, recorded by Dr. Victoria Shearing. Thank you for watching. So in this lesson 1.2, we're going to talk about some properties of whole addition of whole numbers. We also going to talk about how to write or indicate addition in plain English words, and then we'll practice some addition problems. So when you add whole numbers, before you start adding them, we need to learn a couple of things or review a couple of things. So the first thing is that we are going to talk about is identity property of addition. That means that if you add a 0 to any number, you will get that number does not change. So let's write that algebraically first, and then we will give look at some examples. So A plus 0 equals A. What do I mean by that? If you take 5 plus 0, you're still going to get a 5. If you do 27 plus 0, you're still going to have 27. That is the identity property of addition. The next property that we're going to look at is the commutative property of addition. So before we look at that, let's take a look at these examples. So example 1, 2, and 3. So you added 2 and 3 and you got 5. So is 3 plus 2. If you add 4 plus 7, you'll have 11. So is 7 plus 4. You will have 11 as well. And finally, when you add 8 plus 9, you get 17. But so is 9 plus 8 equals 17. So that allows us to create or formalize this rule for commutative property of addition. A plus B is the same as B plus A. You do not, you can add numbers in any order you want as long as all you're doing is adding the numbers. The order is not important when you're just adding them. So that is the commutative property of addition. Of course, math has its own vocabulary, so we can express addition in the following words. This list is not by any means extensive. If you can find some other words how you can express addition, feel free to use them. But in general, you would use plus. So example 1 plus 2, and then you would write 1 plus 2 with the plus symbol. Sum is the one that I want to point your attention to. Sum means the result of the addition. So sometimes we would say, find the sum of 3 and 4. That means 3 plus 4. Increased by, more than, total of, added to, and so forth. These are all the possibilities. So the most frequently ones that are going to be used is find the sum of two numbers. That means you have to add them together. So then let's take a look at the act of adding your two numbers together. So when you add the numbers together, other than like beyond adding one-digit numbers, sometimes two-digit numbers that you have to add them using the long addition. Notice that in our first two examples, the problem's already set for us and the numbers are lined up with their digits falling lined up under their respective placement values. So you have 235 plus 142. The 5 and 2 are the ones in each of their respective numbers. So they lined up, ones with ones, tens with tens, hundreds with hundreds. Okay. And then you just go down the column and add them together. So you have 5 plus 2 is a 7, 3 plus 4 is a 7, and then 2 plus 1 is a 1. So you got the answer for this first problem is 177. So that is all good. The next number presents some challenges. We're going to look at those in just a second. I'm going to rewrite this problem because I usually write big. All right, so when we add, so again, the numbers are already lined up with their digits in their respective place values lined up. So when I do 7 plus 9, I get a 2-digit number. I have a 16. However, I only have space for 1 digit in each place value. So I'm going to write 6 on the bottom and carry over that 1, meaning that it is 16 means that it has 1 in the place of tens and 6 in the place of ones. So I'm going to carry the 1 in the place of tens so I can add the tens to tens. So now it's not 0 plus 8, it's 1 plus 8, which is a 9. And then 6 remains unchanged because there is nothing underneath 6. So the correct answer to this problem is 696. So the next one is find the sum of 802 and 6487. Let's go ahead and line them up. I will start with the longer number. It's easier for the addition, but it doesn't really matter which order they come in. Remember, 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2, and they all going to add up to 5. So I'm going to start with 6487, only because it's a longer number. Kind of like to start with a longer number, plus 802. Okay, so let's go. We have 7 plus 2 is a 9, 8 plus 0 is an 8, but 4 plus 8 is a 12. So I put 2 down and 1 over, and now it is not just 6, it's 1 plus 6, which gives me 7,289. Okay. So now we have the next, a challenge question. We are going to do it, let's go ahead and do it in 2 steps, maybe. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to eliminate the 63 and 4. If I line them up vertically, I would have 5 numbers. But 4 is a 4. I can pretty much do 63 plus 4 is 67. Okay, so I don't have the 4 anymore. So now it's 67 plus 622 plus 4219 plus 8965. Again, I don't even have to rearrange them, but what I wanted to show you, like if you had just 1-digit number, just go ahead and add it somewhere where you feel comfortable. Okay, so now what we have is we have 4 numbers. You can do all 4 numbers if you have a really good math skills, mental math skills. But what we're going to do is we're going to add these first 2, the second 2, and then add them together. So I'm going to do 622 plus 67. So 9, 8, and 6. So this part right here is 689 now. So I'm going to go for 8965 plus 4219. So 5 plus 9, 14. So 1 up. So that's an 8. That is 11. 9 plus 2 is 11. And then 1 plus 8 is a 9 and another 4. You got 13,184. So for the second part right here, for these 2 numbers, I got 13,184. And now I just need to add the final 2 numbers together. So I have 13,184 plus 689. That's the wrong place where I put the 6. I should not have it there. 689. Okay. So 4 plus 9 is 13. So 1 up. 8 plus 8, 16. Another 1 is a 17. 1 up. 1 plus 1 plus 6 is an 8. And then 13 does not have anything underneath there. So that is your final answer is right here. 13,873. You can do all in one step, or you can break it down in smaller steps, more manageable chunks, and go from there. All right, so we have a couple of word problems for us to look at, and then we'll conclude our lesson. So you're asked in example 2 to set up calculation and solve for each of the following problems. Aiden bought a baseball bat, helmet, and glove. The bat cost $299, the helmet cost $35, and the glove cost $68. What was the total cost of Aiden's sports equipment? So total cost, right? So that means we're adding. So we need to add 299 plus 35 plus 68. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up this problem. 299, 35, 68. Okay, so 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 plus 8 is 22. So 2 up, 2 down. This is the reason why I don't like adding more than 2 numbers, because it's just a lot of addition. So then we have 2 plus 9 is 11. 11 plus 3 is 14, and 14 plus 6 is 20. 2 up, 0 down. And then 2 plus 2 is a 4. So the final answer, he spent $402 on his sports equipment. So, and then the last one is an interesting one. 7 men rented a fishing boat. The weights of the men were 175, 192, 148, 169, 205, 181, and 225 pounds. If the weight limit of the boat is 1,500 pounds, can they all ride to fish together? Well, we know that it needs to be, all the numbers that we add together should be less than 1,500 pounds. So let's look at what would be the easiest way to add it. So we have 175 plus 192 plus 148 plus 169 plus 181 plus 205 plus 225. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got all the numbers. All right, so I am going to add the 175, 205, and 225 together. I'm also going to add 192 and 148 together. And for my final one, I'm going to add 169, 181 together. Now, why do I do that? The 5s are easy to add. The number ends in 5. Those are the easy to add for me. But then what I looked at is I saw 192 and 148. If I do 2 plus 8, that would be a 0. So that would be a nice little number, nice round number. So it would be easy to add. And then 9 and 1, again, you can add it and get a 10. So let's go ahead and do the first one. 175 plus 205 and 225. All right, so 5 plus 5 plus 5, 15, and 1 over. And then 1 plus 7 is an 8, plus 2, 10, 1 over. And then I have 1, 1, 2, 2, so that is going to be 6. So that is my first addition, 605. Okay, so let's do the yellow ones. So 192 plus 148. So again, 2 plus 8 is 10, and then 10 plus 4 is 14, and then you have 300. So 340 is your next one. Okay, so let's do the last group, and then we can add 3 numbers together. Notice how they are, like, they're shaping up to be like an easy numbers to add. So 169 plus 181. So we're really using this commutative property of addition, basically combining numbers in any way we want. Okay, so 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, so 1 plus 6 is a 7, plus 8, 15. And then you have 350. So for the ones highlighted in pink, we got 350. Now we're going to add these 3 numbers together. 605 plus 340, and then 350. Not a lot of digits anymore, right? So you have the 5 down, 5 plus 0 plus 0. Then you have 4 plus 5, which is a 9. And then 6 plus 3 is a 9, and another 3. And we got 1295 for our final answer. And the question is, can they ride together? Yes, they can, because their collective weight, which is 1,295 pounds, is less than the maximum weight that the boat would support. So thank you for watching. That is all for lesson 1.2. See you next time.